Hey. So in my first video it was just a quick introduction to myself and the channel. I think I briefly spoke about the personal reasons as to why I'm starting this channel. But this video is more about the reasons why I've been thinking that everybody should start a channel. If you've been considering it, I'm not saying rush you and just start your channel off of these reasons, but if you've been giving it some thought and you've been thinking, I would like to do this, then you might be doubting it, you might be thinking, I'm not too sure, but hopefully if you listen to these reasons, then it will give you the push that you need to go ahead and do it, because I think they're fantastic reasons, and you know, there's no stopping you. Just don't let people put you off. So let me get into these reasons while I take little Boo here for a walk, and hopefully you enjoy the scenery. Okay, right, let's get started. Everybody's reasons for making a YouTube channel differ. Now, no doubt there's a lot of people out there that make it just for the money. They see people making lots of money off YouTube and they decide they want to do that, and they'd love to quit their job and become a full-time YouTuber. I don't blame anybody for that. That's a perfectly good reason, to be quite honest. But the only thing with that is, when you start making videos, it's not going to take off straight away unless, I don't know, there's a really good explanation as to why. You know, you might have a business, or whatever reason, it might explode, it might go viral, it might do well instantly. But 9 times out of 10, I think most of the people start YouTube that are hoping to make money out of it, and then it fails because they might not get monetized quick enough. They might not, the channel might not explode, and they might just lose all faith or things like that. But I think if you've got a good reason or a good purpose to start a YouTube channel, then that's going to keep you going, and that's going to keep you making videos. And because it's not easy, it's no easy at all. It's the professionals might make it look easy, but it's a lot to think of. And I mean, I've only done this will be my second video, but even at that, just to make my first video, it took so many attempts. No doubt to do the same with this, it's going to take so many attempts, and I'll never be happy with it and all that kind of thing. So and it's not an easy thing to just set up. You might be a natural and you might just take to it like a duck out of water, or like a duck to water, however the saying goes. But anyway, a good reason or a good purpose to keep yourself going on YouTube is going to make a big difference, and it's going to keep you coming back and making these videos, and then eventually you will get monetized, and you will, if you work hard enough, you will be successful. I'm going to work hard enough, and I'm hoping it's going to be successful, but I've got different reasons as to why I'm doing this. So here are the reasons why I'm doing it, and also reasons or purposes to let other people, for other people to use to continue to make videos and grow on their YouTube. So reason 1 would be, and they're in no specific order, right? So I'll just start off. Reason 1, that would be the challenge. I think it's a good thing if you enjoy a challenge, and you like learning new things, and you like pushing yourself, then I think doing this kind of thing that's a great reason for it. Because you're going to, let's face it, you're going to, just had to stop there. So you're going to have to work hard at this. It's going to be a challenging thing. As I said, it's difficult to actually make these videos, a lot harder than some people make it look. And it's just something that you'll enjoy the challenge and you'll keep doing it just because it's challenging, and you won't let it get you down. You won't let it beat you. You're determined to learn new things. You're determined to be more creative, or you know, things like that. The challenge is always a good purpose, a good reason, but then obviously you've got to keep coming up with the content and what you want to do and ideas and things like that. It's just a big challenge, and it's a good challenge in my opinion. It's not like you're just going to be able to crack out a video, put it on, and then that's it, and it's going to be easy. You know, people are going to have to work at this. So if you enjoy a challenge, that's a really good reason, a good purpose to keep yourself going. So my plan was to take you out for a walk, but I'll just keep going on with this. It's at the end of the day, it's information that I want to give you, so I don't suppose you're even paying attention to the background or where we are or what's happening in the video. You're here for the reasons that I've said in the title. So reason number 2 would be, if you're like me, and if you're like any normal guy or woman that sees new cool tech that comes out and you're like, I need to get that. So this is a good reason for you. If you have been as stupid as I have and just went out and bought like GoPros, DJI cameras, drones, anything tech related that you could use for like action cams or anything like that, you know, everybody rushes out and buys these things with all good intentions, thinking I'm going to make cool videos and then I'm going to keep these videos and I'm let people see them. But 9 times out of 10, a lot of people don't do that. You know, they buy these cameras on a whim. I know I have. I'm not saying everybody here, but like, I know, I'm speaking from experience. I certainly have. I've had countless GoPros in my time. Hero 1, Hero 3, Hero 10, and you know, you're lucky if I've made a solid 1 hour video out of any of the 3 cameras. But if you've got all that kind of stuff, then it's a good reason to start YouTube, to make use of all that gear and actually put it to good use and get your money's worth out of it, because they're not cheap. And I'll show you the bag of stuff that I've got. Now granted, I kind of built this bag up in time because I'm planning on doing this, but as I said, I've had kind of drones and GoPros in the past, and then I decided, because I had the drone, I love DJI, I switched it all over to the DJI platform or ecosystem, whatever people call it, and now I'm just using that. I'll show you the bag that I've got in another video and just show you that. I'm actually quite proud of it. I've laid out the bag and I've got everything that I need in it, but I mean, it's got all my camera, my photography cameras and lens and everything. With that, I'll go on to reason 3. So, and reason 3 is family and friends. Right, we'll call that, the subhead will be family and friends. Now, this is a really strong purpose for me, because I've got kids, and even if you're too young to have kids at the minute, eventually you will, but you're leaving a digital footprint in the form of a video on the internet. If you're starting a YouTube channel and you're starting it for good solid reasons, and your content is good, and whether it's good or bad doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, you're being you on camera, and you're letting people see you for who you really are, the real you, because you're not having to hide from anybody. You're not trying to like be somebody else. You're being you, and people are going to see that. But not just people are going to see that in the moment, but you imagine like you've got kids, you grow old, unfortunately, you pass away. Whether you see your grandkids or whether you see your great-grandkids is two totally different things. I mean, you're probably never going to see your great-great-grandkids, definitely not, but it's always good for you to have videos there and be able to tell your story and be able to share your experiences with your future family, and they're going to get to know you. Now, I know for a fact that I'm not the only person that says I wish I was born in this digital age where I could have videos of my grandparents. I'm not aware of any video whatsoever that I've got of my grandparents. I've got some photos and things like that, and they're my memories of them, you know. But even at that, I've probably got to go and speak to members of the family and ask them if they've got them, because I've only got like a handful. But anyway, having these videos and having this channel where you can refer back to your family can look back in years and years and years to come and say, look, there's your granddad, or there's your great granddad, or grandmother, great grandmother, whatever. And then they'll be able to see you and be able to hear your story, and you'll be able to tell your story the way you want to tell it, the way it should be told, the actual truth. And you'll be able to, they'll get a glimpse of your life and the things that you get up to and things like that if you're posting that on YouTube. But the reason why I remember this, and the reason why I'm doing this, is because years ago I remember a story that I heard. It was a guy who set up an email account, and every single day in life of since his kid was born, he wrote that kid a quick email, and then, like, it was like a journal, I suppose, but it was all saved digitally, which I thought was pretty cool. And I mean, that email was saved there forever. And then when the kid was old enough, and I mean, unfortunately the guy passed away, but he left the login details for that email account, and they gave it to his kid, and the kid grew up and could access the email, read all the emails, and it was like reading letters to him or her from their dad. And I thought that was pretty nice. Now, like, I'm not going to be directing, and like, this isn't, these videos aren't going to be for like directed at my kids, you know, telling them stories and things like that. But it's going to let people see me, and I'm going to be able to tell wee stories and stupid wee things that I get up to, because not everybody knows everything about me. But that's where I got the idea, and I thought that's a great reason. So that's partly why I'm doing this as well. So that was reason 3. I think we'll go on to reason 4 while I'm still driving. But reason 4 is important to me as well. Now, that is mental health, right? So a lot of people don't even know this about me because I kept it quiet, right? But like, in my past job, in my over my career, I ended up I'm left dealing with a certain amount of stress through that job. I mean, I visited some horrible places and seen some horrible things, so I'm dealing with stress on a daily basis. And not only that, but I've got bilateral tinnitus, and for anybody that doesn't know what that is, then lucky you. But for people to explain it, it is just basically constant ringing in your ears. So I'm actually going to make a video on that, as well, because that deserves a understanding that, and speaking about that deserves a video on its own, because I've got an amazing way. If people are suffering from it, it's hard to actually describe to people what it sounds like, how it feels. But my son actually, just by chance, he showed me how to, he basically let me hear something that let them understand what it sounds like when on a daily basis for me with tinnitus. So I'm going to make a video on that and show you how to do it, because it's great, and it will help people understand why you might be a bit moody, because I do get moody when it's really getting to me, this. So anyway, but enough about me. Good mental health, positive mental health is good. I think YouTube would be great as a way of promoting positive mental health in people, because this day and age especially, more and more people are openly talking about it, which I think is good, because especially among men don't like to share their feelings. I know I certainly don't, and I think it took me a long time to admit this to people and admit to myself, to be quite honest. So, like, not only will it help you be able to talk about your mental health, but you might find a community. People might watch your video and understand exactly how that feels, and then they might reach out and they might actually be inspired enough to go and seek help for it themselves, or they might reach out to you and want to speak about something, which this is kind of, again, this is one of the reasons why I'm starting this channel, and I'm hoping that people will be able to reach out and you know, I will be able to help people in some way, shape or form. So I mean, talking about your mental health, getting off your chest isn't a bad thing. And not only that, but over the last, I'd say maybe 10, 12, maybe 15 years or whatever, I've maybe been acting out a character and I've not been myself. I know I certainly have not been myself. I can admit that now, because, and it's all because of that, and hopefully this will explain and this will let people understand as to why I've maybe acted how I have in the past. So good mental health and promotion of positive mental health is a great reason or purpose to start a YouTube channel, especially if you maybe suffer from poor mental health. I understand that people don't want to do it for that reason, because there's a lot of trolling and bullying goes on the internet, and you know, I don't really like the idea of people putting themselves out there and maybe having to deal with these trolls or bullies. But at the end of the day, I'm a big boy, I don't care. People can say, if people say something to me, it's no anything that I've not thought of myself, or I've not said to myself, or I've not been told before. You know, it's like, I'm a big boy and I don't shy away for that kind of thing. But so anyway, so that's I think that was reason 5, if I'm not, maybe 4. I've lost count now. So coming off the mental health thing and helping people with mental health, that'll lead me into the final reason or purpose why I think people should do their own thing on YouTube and start their own channel if they're considering it, and that is philanthropy type, charity philanthropy kind of thing. So we all know the people on YouTube that do this kind of thing already, like the philanthropy thing, Mr. Beast, the likes of that. He's the only name that really springs to mind because I know he does it. But it's not all just about money. It's just about helping people. Like being charitable doesn't mean like going out and handing somebody money. It's helping people, and being charitable, and if somebody needs something done, if you know somebody's in need of help, whether that be just to talk to somebody, to go and help somebody with something that needs done in and around their house, helping anybody, just like, now I'm actually talking more so along the lines of the money kind of aspect, right? And I'm no meaning like go out there and video yourself handing money out to homeless people. I'm not talking about that kind of thing, right? But I'm going to tell you a wee story, and it was a thing that I actually planned on doing when my kids were a lot younger. So it was maybe like 2010, 2011 kind of time. I was working in a good job, I was making good money, and I thought to myself, well, at Christmas time, I actually wanted to take some of my wage and put that away, save it, and then at Christmas time, I wanted to go to York Hill Children's Hospital in Glasgow, and it's closed down now and it's moved. But then I wanted to go and help, and I thought I'll take the money, it's not going to be much, I'll buy some gifts for the sick kids, and some gifts for Christmas. I'll take my kids and we'll go and hand out these gifts to the kids if they would let me. Don't get me wrong, I would have loved to have been able to afford to give like some piece of vital equipment that they need and things like that, rather than give money to a charity to do that, because at the end of the day, I think there's not all charities, but I think certain charities and certain people that run certain charities, they skim off the top, and they're only, no meaning in a bad way, right, but it's like people make money out of charity, and that money could actually be used for better purposes for the charity, in my opinion. Charities are only required to put like 10% of whatever donations they pull in to the actual people that need it. But anyway, the story was I wanted to buy these gifts, and then I wanted to take them to the kids and take my kids to hand them out, to let them see that, to humble them, just to let them see that there's kids out there that don't have the luxury that they have to good health, and they would have been spending Christmas in hospital and things like that. So then I thought to myself, well, what I save and what I buy gifts with, it's not going to be enough to probably buy gifts and give all these kids a gift, and I didn't want to leave any kids out. So I thought to myself, well, I'll start a GoFundMe, and then I thought to myself, well, GoFundMe, you're asking people to give money out of their own pocket, and I know people are quite willing to do that. I know people are good at heart and they will donate money, but I thought, well, then it led me to think, well, I don't need to do that. I could actually make a video on this subject and post it on YouTube, and then YouTube will give me the money, and I don't need to ask anybody to dip into their pockets. But then I was naive to think to myself, well, this is how YouTube works, you just post a video. And I never knew the monetization periods and all this kind of thing and that and blah blah blah. I just had it in my head it would go viral, bang, there's money coming in, I'd take all that money, I'd buy all the gifts, I'd make it transparent, show receipts, all that kind of thing, and then just video the kids these gifts getting handed out, invite people to come and that donated, or people that subscribed or whatever, to come and also hand out the gifts. But as I said, I was naive, and I thought to myself, well, that's not going to work. And then life got in the way, and blah blah blah. York Hill closed down and moved and all that kind of thing. So it just never happened. But it was always in my mind, and I always wanted to do it. So now I suppose this is me finally 10 years down the line. Well, no, 15 years down the line, 14, 15 years down the line. This is me, I suppose, hopefully going to do something like that. So that's my final reason. And so charity, philanthropy, being able to take what is given to you by a big multinational company, corporation, advertisers, and put that to good use and give to people that need, people in need, that need that kind of charity or need that help. And as I said, not just the money, you know, that's a thing that will come in the future. You know, it's not going to happen overnight, but being able to give and hopefully, like I said, supply vital equipment to places rather than leave it to somebody that's dealing with other people's donations, which they could line their pockets. I would love to be able to do that, but I suppose I'm just going to say that's a pipe dream at the minute. And in the meantime, I'm going to use that reason, being charitable, being nice, helping people, being a philanthropist. I'm going to put that to good use, and I'm going to be helping people in other ways, shape or form. Like I said, there's a lot of people that I want to help. I mean, you know, including and not limited to, like, old folk, sick kids, dogs. I want to be able to help dogs. I'm a dog lover. You know, just generally, you know, people that need it, people with mental health, like people that are ex-soldiers that are struggling with post-traumatic stress, you know, people that are struggling with tinnitus, and people that are just people that need the help. That's my goal. I want to help people, and this channel is hopefully going to be the platform that's going to let me help and do that. So hopefully you got something out of that, and hopefully one of these reasons actually keep you motivated and want to make you push on and persevere. If you've started a channel, if you've just thinking about starting a channel or whatever, hopefully this helps, and hopefully at least one of these reasons, if not them all, I'm going to be gathering. All these reasons are going to be purpose for me to keep going in this channel. And I mean, you could hopefully use one, two, all, it's up to you, and it will keep you going. So hopefully you got something out of this video and it wasn't too boring, but no doubt I'll see you again in another video if you choose to continue watching this channel. But as I said in the first video, if I'm not going to ask you to like and subscribe, but if there's somebody out there that, again, that might need help, or like, you know, would hopefully benefit out of watching my videos or watching my channel, then by all means please share the link with them, tell them about it, get them on to watch the videos as well, because not just for my benefit, but it would be nice if they might want to reach out and they might need the help, or they might want to get involved in some way or whatever. So that's that. Please share it and let people know about it that might need it. You never know who needs the help and just aren't willing to talk about it, or they might just need somebody that they don't even know to speak to. But I'll leave you at that, and I'll see you in the next video. And again, if you've returned to watch this video after seeing my first one, then thank you. But if this is you just seeing this video and you've got to this point, then I really appreciate you watching, and I'll hopefully see you in another video in the very near future. Okay, thanks again, and I'll see you soon.